Hey, Chris Lipe here with how to handle nerves and how to not let nervousness get in the way of your best voice, but instead channel that energy and create opportunities for your singing, whether you're performing or in the studio. Please, if you don't mind, right now, like and subscribe to my channel and turn the notifications on so that more and more people can keep discovering what I'm doing here on YouTube, helping other people with their singing. Also, if you want to go deeper with your own singing, with your own voice, click the link below and join my free voice course. That's the best place to start. I've got a lot to offer in terms of coaching, even private lessons. So nerves, nervousness, man, it does all sorts of things, right? You've practiced and you're inching up to that one area of the song that you think, you've tried so hard and you can hit it when you're practicing, but then you go live and you tense up and you just, because the nerves start working against you, because your confidence is diminished due to fear. Or you blow your voice out because for some reason you're pushing way too hard when you're singing. I mean, you know better, but you're overcompensating for something, and nerves are doing that too. You have way less control over what your body's doing because of that adrenaline. I've got a story for you that is going to illustrate what I've been able to do mentally and physically to create opportunity from this energy and not let fear take over. Years ago, for fun, I recorded several Christmas songs, and I passed out or shared these songs with not just close friends and family, but I tried to get it out there as much as I could. You can find the Christmas song I'm talking about in particular, "Oh Holy Night," by following a link in the video information, and you can listen to that. It's on SoundCloud. But I recorded particularly that song and a few others. I was super proud of it, and I got lots of great feedback from everybody who heard it. And I actually ended up getting a gig out of it. Someone wanted me to come perform this song. And I'd spent a lot of time in the studio making the take that you hear on "Oh Holy Night" as incredible as I possibly could. Punching in and out. I think it took a whole day or maybe even part of another day to record it because I was so meticulous in how I wanted things to sound and, is that run working, or am I coming off of that high part okay? And what are the dynamics doing? How's my timing? All these things. I was so meticulous about it. And when the offer was presented to me to perform this live, I was like, yeah. I said, of course, but I walked away going, oh no. The expectation is going to be that I can do it like the recording, and fear just attacked me. And I went home and I listened to my performance and I was like, oh, I've committed to something. I've way overpromised and I'm going to underdeliver. So I ended up practicing little by little to the recording, and I wasn't able to do it initially like I wanted to, like the recording. I was comparing to the recording, and it just wasn't going to happen. But I had committed, and I was determined to make something work. So through some introspection and examination of my own perspective on myself, my need for acceptance, my need to impress and show people what I could really do, I decided that I was going to do two things as I both prepared to perform this song and when I performed it. And these two things really have stuck with me every time I go into the studio and every time I go to perform. Lean in really hard to what you know you do well. The second, and this is the tough one, plan intentional failure. Yes, lean in to what you know you do really well and at the same time, plan a moment for intentional failure. We're going to start with the failure thing first. When you go into a performance, especially a difficult one, and you are able to break the ice by showing your audience and yourself that perfection is not possible and you're totally fine with that and you've worked that out in your own mind, you will find that you are more free to lean into your strengths and do so confidently, knowing that it's also okay to fail. There are multiple parts in that song, in the "O Holy Night" cover, where I'm holding out these high notes, C5s, D5s, and I'm surrounding them with runs and challenging things. And when I was practicing as though failure was not an option, and when I tried to deliver, even in my practice space, all the way through, as though failure was not an option, I sang so much worse. But if I started out with this idea that I am going to create an environment for myself where I'm okay, and therefore the audience is going to come alongside me on a journey of imperfection, of vulnerability, my practicing and my performance takes a whole different path. What ends up happening is that you don't try to replicate what you did on a recording or what someone else has done on a recording. You get inside the song and create a journey that, between vulnerability and your strengths, you create something even more compelling in a live setting than you could on a recording. So you've got a passage that you know you do really well. Work on that. Build up your confidence. You've got a passage that is really challenging. Break it down. Always find things about that passage you know you can do really well. And the notes that are really difficult, work on working up to those notes, but don't necessarily hit the money note. Work up to it, don't hit it. Intentionally fail on the money note. Work up to it, intentionally fail. Work up to it, intentionally fail. And then call it out in the performance itself when you're actually going. And at the beginning of your performance, you know what? I don't have to hit that note. I know I can work up to it. I don't have to hit it. I'm pleased to say that when I take this approach, sometimes I don't hit the actual note that I'm wanting to do or the actual phrase, but I do something that is really, really cool and more connected. It sounds great. It feels great. And because I've practiced all these things and I've given myself permission not to do it, sometimes I do something even cooler. Yeah, it might not be as technically impressive, but it's still really awesome. But sometimes, just the fact I've given myself permission to fail, I end up taking the risk. And because I've practiced working up to it, I nail it. The best news is, though, it's okay to not nail it and okay to nail it. Either way, this is a rigorous process of introspection, self-discovery, conversations in your own head. And it's also a rigorous practice thing, right? You're having to work, really compartmentalize and really take things slowly and in small amounts. And this is tedious. There's real reasons this works. When you're breaking things down like this, you're programming muscle memory into your vocals, as opposed to just blowing through the whole thing with expectations that you should be able to sing it all the way through. When you practice in tiny sections, just as you've recorded, you're giving you're giving an opportunity for your muscles to go, oh yeah, I remember that. I remember how that felt on the recording. And then as you start piecing things together, you start doing more things, longer passages, better, because your muscle memory has been trained to go from this section to this section to this section. So now you don't need to remember how to do all of it. You just need to know how to get from here to here, and then from here to here, and then from here to here. If you practice that way, and you're leaning into your strengths and you're leaning into what you do well in these different sections, your muscle memory starts connecting the dots. Then, if it's okay to fail at the same time, you're able to lean into those gaps where you're maybe not as confident and try something based on the muscle memory support that you have. You have to experience it to know that it works. You have to practice it to experience it to know that it works. But check out my cover of Oh Holy Night if you want, or just try some of these the next time you are either breaking down someone else's recording and you're trying to sing something, or you've done something that you're really proud of that you're trying to replicate live or in a performance. Try these things out. Leave comments below. Let me know your own stories about your battle with confidence and nerves. And let me know how this video or the tips in this video have helped you. I look forward to hearing from you. We'll see you for more.